Carter is involved in underground fights. A girl named Frankie is looking for him. At this time, another fighter stops by the club. His name is Dalton, and he wants to be the best fighter in the club. Carter knows who this man is, and he refuses to fight. And Dalton gets the money he won. He's met on the street by a man who lost his money. He stabs Dalton with a knife, but he can't get the knife out and runs away. While treating the wound, Frankie offers Dalton a job at her bar, but Dalton refuses. Before leaving, Frankie leaves his number in case he changes his mind. Dalton is tired of his life and stops at the railroad tracks, but at the last moment, he changes his mind and survives. He gets the idea to start all over again, and for that he wants to get a job with Frankie. At the bus stop, he meets a girl named Charlie who works in a bookstore. It's owned by a man named Steven. He helps him find the bar Dalton is looking for. The first thing he does is buy a cup of coffee and get to know the bartenders. Every night a lot of people come to the bar. Fights start between them, but the bartender Billy calms everyone down. A couple hours later, a biker gang comes into the bar. Their leader, Dell, doesn't like that it's very quiet and starts smashing things. They disperse the guests and grope the girls. Billy comes running to help, but the ringleader doesn't like it. Dalton takes the troublemakers outside and asks them, can their insurance pay for knocked out teeth? Dell starts laughing and immediately gets punched. The bikers try to beat up Dalton, but he limits himself to light blows. The bikers didn't stand a chance. However, Dalton is a kind guy and takes the bikers to the hospital. Nurse Ellie notices that Dalton has an open wound and offers to help. This causes him to be delayed at the hospital, and they start following him. Upon his return to the bar, Frankie gives him his first paycheck. They realize he has nowhere to live and offers him a place to stay on the boat. After throwing out everything he doesn't need, he starts to reminisce about his life. Dalton was a famous UFC fighter, but his sleep is interrupted by Laura the bartender. She's made breakfast for him. She tells him that they've had a lot of bouncers, and she hopes Dalton stays here for a long time. After breakfast, he comes to the bookstore. He wonders if they have a computer. A fight breaks out in a neighboring store, and a girl tries to chase the bikers away. Their conversation is noticed by Dalton and comes out to help Charlie. The bikers are momentarily startled and leave. A little later, he returns to the bar and asks why the locals recognize him. Frankie says that gossip spreads very quickly around here. All the bikers work for Ben. He wants to shut down Frankie's business, and he doesn't like the fact that just one man beat his gang. Meanwhile, Dalton is teaching Billy the basics of fighting against men with knives, and he and Dalton chase the troublemakers away. Dalton spends all his free time keeping fit, and he meets Reef. He's been helping Billy chase off the troublemakers. Dalton notices wounds on his fists. Reef says he's been boxing. Now the bar has a new bouncer under Dalton's supervision. A man tries to steal a bottle, but Dalton insinuates that's not the way to do it, and asks him to go home. Outside, he notices a group of bikers. They say they'll be back to see him soon. As the new day begins, Dalton meets Ellie by chance. He wonders why the people here are so aggressive. She tells him that they value loyalty. Even the police aren't always as helpful as they should be. The most important thing is not to cross bad people, or they might kill him. Before leaving, Dalton compliments Ellie. After work, Laura offers Dalton a ride home, but he refuses. While walking down the road, they try to kill him, but he miraculously survives. Dell suspected it wouldn't kill Dalton, so he broke into his house. Dalton wants to understand why they're trying to kill him. Dell explains it's not about Dalton, it's about the bar. He seizes the moment, attacks Dell, and throws him into the water. Suddenly, a crocodile appears and kills the man. Tomorrow, Dalton tries to figure out why they want to take over the bar, but he is stopped again by the bandit. Dalton learns the name of the boss, and if he wants to talk to him, he has to go to him himself. Ben is pissed off that some bouncer is ruining his plans. His father realizes that Ben won't do anything, so he asks for help from Knox, who is picking out some new clothes. Dalton and Ellie take a boat ride. She wants to show off her favorite place, a small island hidden underwater. She tells them that Ben belongs to an ancient family. Who built most of this town? Ellie starts asking about Dalton's life. He doesn't like it and wants to leave. Dalton calls Ellie a good man, but she doesn't need to get to know him better. However, Ellie knows how to calm Dalton down. Knox comes to town and meets a biker gang. A little later, Ben arrives. Knox immediately relays a message from his father. Ben asks him to give him another chance, and if he fails, Knox may burn down the whole bar. Dalton is stopped by the police and taken to the sheriff. He wants Dalton to leave town. If he refuses, he'll be taken to the station and stabbed to death. But Laura comes to the rescue and stabs the sheriff. He is her father. Ellie tells him that her father worked for Ben's family. Gerald is the most important one in the family. He was a drug dealer, but they put him in jail. She's sure the sheriff is working for Ben now. Ellie doesn't want Dalton to die and asks him to leave. Meanwhile, the bandits are about to destroy the bookstore. In the evening, Ben comes to the bar to meet Dalton in person. He shows a video of Dalton fighting with his friend and accidentally killing him. Ben fails to reach a deal and asks Knox to destroy the bar. He spots the bandits right away. Billy and Reef try to stop him, but Knox beats them with a bat. Afterward, he calls Dalton's name. He immediately says that he was hired to deal with Dalton, but he won't use the bat. His hands will suffice. A fight breaks out between them. Dalton tries to dodge the blows, but it's as if Knox isn't feeling the pain, and he's going at it like a rabid beast. Knox is confident. Dalton tries to hold back. They are interrupted by the police arriving. Dalton packs his things to get out of this town. Frankie doesn't understand how they managed to scare him. At a bus stop, he notices a destroyed bookstore and asks what happened to the girl and her father. The firemen say they have been taken to the hospital. Now Dalton doesn't want to run away anymore. On the contrary, he personally comes to the house of the biker gang. Dalton wasn't afraid of Knox and his gang. It's what he can do to them. With just one blow, he kills the gangster. To survive, the man tells Dalton where he can find Ben. Toward morning, he notices police officers unloading crates. After waiting a moment, Dalton knocks out the deputy and opens the crates. It's completely full of money. Dalton takes the officer's gun and shoots the biker. A little later, the sheriff comes to him and asks for the money back. His daughter has been taken by Ben's men and won't be returned until he brings the money. Dalton has to agree. Knox returns to the biker's house and doesn't understand where everyone has disappeared to. Dalton won't give him the money until Ellie is shown to him, but their negotiations are interrupted by Knox. Dalton presses a button and his boat explodes. Panic sets in and Dalton runs to find Ellie. The glass breaks and Ellie swims to the surface. She's spotted by Ben and brought up to the yacht. Knox tries to throw Dalton off, but he gets caught on a rope and crawls onto the boat. Dalton drops Knox into the water and crashes into Ben to jump onto his boat. Ellie tells Dalton to jump into the water, whereupon the yacht and Ben fly ashore. By this time, Knox has swam ashore. After examining the bar, Dalton finds Ben trying to kill him with a harpoon, just as Knox crashes into the building. A rematch ensues. This time, Dalton doesn't hold back and throws a series of hard punches. Dalton pretends to be tired and catches Knox making mistakes. He grabs him from the back and tries for a choke, but Knox grabs a sharp stick and breaks free of the hold, inflicting a serious wound. Ben starts ordering him to do his job, and a distraught Knox kills Ben. With his last strength, Dalton pulls out the stick and kills Knox. The sheriff comes out and promises to cover for Dalton. Before he leaves, he talks to Charlie, and her father finds a bag full of money, but he doesn't get a chance to ask where it came from. That concludes the movie. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your comment. See you very soon. Bye.